Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The Friday edition. The Big Hat edition. What a great gift, Jesse. Unbelievable. And just like that hat that brings Frosty the Snowman to life, there's some magic in this old gigantic hat Jesse bought. Edition. All right, Jen, Gabe, and Shuey already got me started on this Peter Schrager nonsense, which I don't think it's nonsense that the Packers and Jaire are in a better place, but things happen over time. I think that's important. Addition. What's the longest you've ever driven in a car? Because I did 6 hours and change yesterday, luckily with a 3-hour amazing visit to Hard Rock Casino Rockford, which was so great, and they were such gracious hosts. We had such a great time. It was really fun. But that was a lot of mileage. I'm wondering how people who drive long distances do it, because nothing but respect for you. Edition. And of course, Feel Good Friday, presented by Hallman Lindsay Paints Edition, a little bit later in the show. Of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video where you can see Jesse's giant noggin hat that he got, one for me and one for Tausch with our logo on it. Also allegedly on Facebook, but not really, but certainly on Twitter and certainly on YouTube. And, of course, everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. We're all back in our normal locations. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. Jesse, I'm going to have to take my amazing hat off and put on a regular hat because I don't want to hold my headphones.
Looks like you're struggling to
show.
hold your headphones on there.
Yeah, it's a struggle. They didn't fit over the hat like the ones that Tausch had down at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. And from his undisclosed location. He's been in Vegas. He's been in Rockford. Now he's back in his humble abode. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, the hats are awesome. As we left yesterday, a lot of times somebody will say something and, it'll be nice and it'll be fun. It literally was every person, because after we had lunch, a nice lunch with Youngster and Jesse, put the hat on.
Tausch did not want to have
And
lunch with just me. He made sure at least one other person stayed to have lunch with us. It ended up being
I was
Riley
trying
Yell.
to be inclusive. I was trying to be inclusive. Is that a bad thing? No, inclusivity's bad?
No, inclusivity is great. It's great to involve
Sounds
others.
like you're
It's
saying
just,
inclusivity's
you sounded
bad.
a little desperate when everyone else said they were getting back for afternoon meetings, and you're like,
No, I literally
Nobody?
said, hey, who wants to? Hard Rock gave us some vouchers. I said, who wants to sit and have lunch?
I thought we were
And-
doing away with inclusivity, by the way. Isn't that what's going on right now? Never mind.
Who's doing away with inclusivity?
Never mind. It's the I
No.
in DEI. Go ahead, finish your story.
Whoa, Nelly!
What the hell are we talking about?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm all rattled now. I'm confused. Anyways, I thought we were going to have lunch. Wanted to have a couple of folks join because Jesse and I can't. We're not going to eat $90 worth of food, right?
Are you
We
sure?
vouched it
don't
up,
tempt
so-
me.
No, why would we? We're not going to have a $90 lunch. It's not. You're not with us. You're not getting a porterhouse.
that was the
Wagyu.
joke I was looking
Yeah,
for.
that
Thank
was-
you. Yeah, that's okay.
So, I guess it's wrong of me to invite teammates to join Jesse and I. So, I don't know. I guess that was my bad.
It wasn't
Jesse. I didn't
wrong.
mean
It
to-
was very nice
Who
of
else
you.
did you invite? Because we had a
Everyone.
lot of teammates.
Literally
there.
everybody.
Everyone that
And
was
Riley was the only one who said yes.
there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That
No
is
one else
true.
wanted to have lunch with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
A very important thing. It's less than an hour to get back to Madison. They all had meetings planned for the afternoon. So
If you pushed it, I
Hop on
believe
the
is
road
the
right
quote
away.
from
Yeah.
Tausch. So what did you have? Because I heard Tim, who is the GM there, say that the noodle place is unbelievably good.
Yeah.
But it didn't open until
Unfortunately,
5.
not open until 5. Yeah.
Much like the
was
steakhouse,
a bummer.
which I was looking forward to getting my $90 steak, and I wasn't able to do that either because our show is a 9 to noon program. So what'd you have?
So anyway, I think I had a burger. The burgers are good. Burger was really good there. I think we started with some cheese curds, and then I thought Jesse'd get the musty mac, but he didn't. He was going to order it, and then he decided to switch it up, and I think he ended up going burger also.
Wait, they had a musty mac.
it did not say Musty Mac on the menu. No, there was a. So Tausch had me in the noodle idea. So I was thinking about getting. There was a mac and cheese, chicken mac and cheese with. It had. I think it was the. What's the pasta called? It's got it's the big curlies. The cavatappi. Is that the one? I forget what all the different pastas are called, but it's the one that's got the big noodles, very twirly, spinny, fun to eat.
Fusilli?
No, I don't think it was fusilli. I think it was something with a C.
Corkscrew?
I mean, that's essentially what it is, yes. But regardless, I thought about getting that, but then I ended up getting this barbecue smokehouse burger, which was also fantastic. Great burgers at the Hard Rock Cafe.
And what did Riley get?
Shrimp.
Oh my God!
He got shrimp.
Come on, that was funny.
Which part? No.
I thought it was funny that we were going around the table, seeing what everybody. All right,
Okay.
it was a great
Would
time.
have been nice for you to stay and have lunch with us. That would have been a nice little.
I had to
perk.
get back and experience the power of the giant hat. It was amazing. So I speed back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, as quickly as I can because Sydney is playing in a tennis match. It is their season-ending tournament, and she struggled early before I arrived. Lost her first 2 matches. She's in match number 3, and Paula had alerted me that she was struggling a little bit. Her confidence was down. So I, having been given one of the greatest gifts ever, decide, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk up to the court wearing my brand spanking new, massive Wilde and Tausch hat. And it could not have worked out better. I walk through the little sidewalk area. She is serving in my direction. There is a momentary pause in the match. She looks up and sees me walking in. What is it? Is it Vince McMahon who does that strut as he's coming in at a WWE event? I'm striding up there, my big hat, And she just cannot help but laugh. "What are you wearing?" she shouts out as we're in the middle of a match. I said, "Jesse got us hats." All the parents see this. They all think it's hilarious. I give her a little tip of the cap. I go, "All right, let's go. Let's go, Sid. Here we go." Won her final 3 matches, rallied in that match to win it, then won her final 2, and it's all because of the power of the hat, turning around her fortunes. So, Jesse, not only did you give a great gift, but you also helped turn around a struggling 8th grade tennis player and lead her to a, I think, 3rd-place finish in the
That's a medal.
tournament.
That's good.
So, thank you for your service. It was awesome, and everybody thought it was hilarious.
Love hearing that.
So, way to go, Jesse. Well done.
When's it going to show up at the baseball game for Old T? That's the big question, because now we got to see if it's good luck down there too.
It's the rally hat.
It's a good. As I said yesterday, and as I was saying, Jason, the power of the hat is real. We're walking out of the Hard Rock Casino in Rockford, and it didn't matter who I walked by. Security, random folks that were playing slot machines. They were making either jokes about how big my head was or how blanking awesome that hat was. So I don't think Jesse could have hit a bigger home run with his gift. And the fact that it was May 8th, which is about, 150 days post-Christmas?
Almost as far as you can get
days?
from Christmas, yeah.
I think it was worth the wait, and it was the home run. Even though Jason got me a great National Park
this
blanket.
wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, by far. So kudos to your kids
by far.
for winning and utilizing that hat as the power. A good day. It was a good day yesterday.
I am curious, though, about the hat in this respect. If you are at a Bucks game or a Brewers game or a Packers game, is it IPT to wear it during said game? Because it will create an obstructed view seat.
Yes. Especially for me, I'm always mindful. I have very broad shoulders. Wearing a hat, I will not. I thought about Eleanor has a play tonight that she is in, and I was debating it would be really fun to wear this hat tonight. I'm not going to, strictly because it is incredibly IPT with other people that are watching their kids in the play. Probably want to get video and or footage, and my big old noggin with this monster hat, probably not great. What I am going to do is during one of our games, whether we play during the week or if it's a tournament, I will use that big hat. And it will be used, I'll make sure to change indicators and whatnot, that the hat will be a prevalent part of any of our signage as we progress through. You're not going to use that big old hat and not utilize you have a lot of surface area, a lot of different indicators that you could utilize with that.
When I put the big hat on, it means bunt, Timmy.
Yeah.
Sitting on the ground. All right.
The real question I have, because Jesse and I will be doing a live baseball game next Thursday between Middleton and Sun Prairie East. It is a philanthropic game. They've been doing this for years. They're raising money for the Carbone Cancer Center.
Cardinals Strikeout Cancer is the name of it. Yeah.
Yes. It is a great outing. We have decided we're going to head out there. Jesse wants to get more play-by-play. I have never called color for the game, for a baseball game. So I'm going to wear the big hat out to that game. I can't wear my Sun Prairie hat because I will be rooting for Sun Prairie. But when I'm in broadcast mode in this case, because we have partners in Middleton and Sun Prairie, I am wearing the big boy Wilde and Tausch hat out next Thursday night out in Middleton.
I don't know how you did it yesterday that you got your headphones, though, over it. I tried to do that this morning, and maybe this is just a different style of headphone. I couldn't pull it off. So good work by you. Good work by Jesse. And good work by Sid with her rally, thanks to the power of the magical Wilde and Tausch oversized hat. Speaking of magical and the power of changing out your windows, it's Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And there's no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now, because Pella is offering up to 6 years of 0% financing. You set your free in-home consultation today, and you commit to nothing at this point. They'll listen to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations that will make it become a reality. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply, and this deal ends on May 31st of 2025. So visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
The Packers and Jaire Alexander are in a good place. That is according to Peter Schrager of ESPN, formerly of Good Morning Football, who had a lovely dinner with Matt LaFleur during the draft. As I discussed with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, we will discuss next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member-first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Brian Balaga here for my new friends at Surfside. There's only one thing better than Surfside and golf, and that's Surfside iced teas and lemonade plus vodka on the golf course. This golf season, there's no better drink to enjoy on the golf course. Surfside is light, refreshing, and made with real vodka and real brewed tea. Plus, there's only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. Cheers to hitting the fairway, and cheers to Surfside. It's tea time. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Mother's Day is almost here, and I've been thinking a lot about all the times my mom went out of her way just to make me happy. Honestly, I've lost count. All of the pickups from practice, help with the homework, the home-cooked meals. My mom is the best. That's why this year I'm returning the favor with the bouquet from the Books Company. And I got you 25% off of your order so you can send some happiness to your moms, too. Books aren't just any flowers. Their flowers are cut fresh from the best farms, so they're bigger, brighter, and last way longer. Some are even grown on the side of a volcano. Wow mom with a bright, happy bouquet, or go for the Books Flower subscription so she can get fresh blooms and major joy on repeat. It's also really easy. I pick my bouquet, delivery date, and done. And with 25% off, why stop with mom? Grab some for your wife, your auntie, and even grandma too. Mother's Day is May 11th, so hurry and order your Books now. Go to Books.com, use promo code CANTY to get 25% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code CANTY. Books, promo code CANTY.
Bandana? Check. Boots? Check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
He's got a Chevrolet that don't always run and the radio never turns down. He's got a pedigree that's no good for nothing, no commas in his bank account. But there's a girl.
I gotta say, I love our YouTube comments. So in one, it would appear, and again, I'm trying to piece this together, but it appears that two of the YouTube, dare I say, dwellers in the ESPN Madison YouTube comments are related and they've just reconnected?
Oh, love that.
What?
It's great.
Like one, I think their dads were brothers. I'm still piecing it together. I joined it a little bit late. But Tony and Mark, maybe? Which, by the way, there you have it. Mark still making a comeback. I don't know how old this Mark is, but as you hear in our open every day, Ruth and Mark, names that have gone the way of the White Buffalo, but maybe they're coming back. Then, in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments, Chris has suggested, and I don't know if I have the guts for this, but it is really funny and it has some real potential. But I don't want to be a press conference distraction. But Chris's suggestion is to wear the giant Wilde and Tausch hat to Matt LaFleur's next press availability.
No. I love the concept. This is tailor-made for your opening day. You don't have headphones when you're down at opening day of training camp on the sidelines with your wired AirPods.
Yeah, wired.
You're wearing the big hat to keep the right there. To keep the sun out. Looks like you got a little nose. You're going to keep that big brim will keep all that sun off your face.
Yeah.
That's when you wear the big boy hat.
Official training camp sideline hat. Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. Well,
hold up. And then you have a flap on the back that says on air. And when we're off, flip it down so that when Mark Murphy comes floating through and the players, it's just like you're in studio where they got the red lights. It says on air. You have a flap and you flap it up. And then when you're off, beep, pull it down.
All right. Well, I'll think about that. My concern is that
every time you hear think about that, it means you're not going to do it. This is a no-brainer.
It's a white hat. I don't want to get it dirty.
How's it going to get dirty? What are you slopping around in the mud? Yeah, how are you getting that dirty?
Slopping in the mud?
You act like you're in a coal mine. Dude, you're standing on a plush
coal
grass
mine
field.
reference in as many shows.
You're standing on a grass field away from everybody. You act like there's going to be like monster trucks ripping up mud. You're not on the field, man. You're off. You're off on turf, dude.
Don't.
You're not getting that hat.
If it's raining, don't bring it out. But you probably won't be out there for it's raining anyway.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get it dirty. Guys out here pouring concrete, dude. You got a notepad and you're scribbling Lord knows what with an AirPod in. I mean, the guy's down in West Virginia just digging it out, trying to make, keep some energy flowing through this country. Something. That's something.
Are you done?
That's what a grinder
thinking,
looks like right there.
What has he got? What do you got to go fix the sewage system at the Hudson Center there?
I just want to keep it pristine
happening?
and white. I just want it to look nice because I love it. All right. So one thing I did not love was our new teammate at ESPN, Peter Schrager. Now, this was brought up to me on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And look, let me clarify this before I get started, because I saw some blowback in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments after my appearance. My favorite person, who apparently started a Gmail account so they could subscribe, so they could comment, calling themselves Peter Schrager's #1 fan, which I respect the effort that required.
That's good.
So good work.
Yeah, I like that. All right.
But I don't have any problem with him having dinner with Matt LaFleur and him talking about it. If that's how he wants to go about his business, that's fine. He's an insider. He's got his new job at ESPN. That's fine. The idea of, and you'll hear it in a second from the Pat McAfee show, suggesting because I had dinner with Matt LaFleur, the media has had it wrong and depicted it inaccurately all this time. Look, things shift. And clearly there has been a shift. Because, and look, Rob Domofsky doesn't need me to fight his battles for him. But Rob Domofsky early on reported that their intention was to part ways with Jaire Alexander, either by trading him or releasing him. And at that time, that was their intention. And again, for those of you who have forgotten, Brian Gutekunst, who never entertains hypotheticals ever, said to everyone at the NFL meetings that if he's not going to be on our team helping us win games, then we want to get something for him in a trade because we've invested a lot in Jaire. Tell me the last time you heard Ted Thompson or Brian Gutekunst talk about a player on their roster and say a hypothetical where we might trade that person. That does not happen. So let's not pretend that everything has been hunky-dory all along and then Peter Schrager unearthed how hunky-dory-ish it has been all along by having dinner with Matt LaFleur during the draft. Here is Peter Schrager's appearance. That's why I'm irritated. Here is Peter Schrager's appearance with Pat McAfee yesterday.
I had a lovely dinner with Matt LaFleur during draft week in Green Bay, and I brought it up, and I don't think he'd mind me saying like, we're actually in a good place with Jaire. Obviously there was some stuff last year and the coin toss situation a couple of years back, and all that stuff is all head-scratching stuff that would drive a coach nuts when you're trying to run a disciplined program. But from what I gather, this thing is in a lot better place than what was being presented in the media, and that there is a place for Jaire Alexander in Green Bay, and I think he and Jeff Hafley actually have had a great relationship, and it's a different breed and it's a different time. And I don't know exactly how it nets itself out, but like when he was being listed as that #1 trade target, I don't think that was coming from Green Bay. And if you know Goody at all, he wasn't leaking that to anybody. So that was a lot of outside noise, I believe. We'll see how it figures itself out, though.
Wow.
Must have missed the part.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Where he said he might trade him.
He is he's putting a flamethrower to you local media folk. That's what he just did there. He flamethrowed you. And he's going to probably be right, and that means what? Because you're irritated.
All right, so first of all, not coming from the Packers, and Brian Gutekunst would never say it. He said it on the record. We have video of him saying it. Right?
Oh.
Right?
He did.
True or false?
Yes.
Okay.
True.
Second of all, I know I saw this in the YouTube comments, and I'm okay. It's true. I am sensitive about stuff. I do not believe that it is my role to criticize other members of the media or dump on their reporting. Okay? Because he had dinner with Matt LaFleur during the draft does not mean that the situation with Jaire Alexander has not changed in recent weeks. That is what happens here. So to say, I don't think it's as bad as it has been depicted in the media. I mean, come on, man. That's not how this works.
Are you mad you didn't get invited to dinner?
No, look, I'm not.
Would you go to dinner if Matt LaFleur called you and said, "Hey, Jason, I'd love to head down to the Pickler, get a match with you and Sid, Madison, whomever. I'll bring my wife or my kids. We're going to grab a game of pickleball, and then we're going to go grab a bite." You're in for that, right?
Yeah, but am I going to go on the radio?
Okay.
Like, here's another instance. I don't feel comfortable saying, I don't think he'd have a problem with me saying this. I either want to know that it's okay and it's on the record, or not know it's okay and that it's off the record. I don't want to be, hey, I had dinner with him, and I don't think he'd mind me saying this. I am not envious of him having dinner with Matt LaFleur. Okay. Matt and I have a great relationship. We're good. It was great that he did a half hour on the stage with us at the draft. I still can't believe he was available on draft day to do that. It was awesome. We had a great time. We hung out and talked afterward. He obviously is extremely excited to be a member now at the Pickler. Like, this is, please believe me when I say this, I'm not bothered that Peter Schrager had dinner with him. And I actually do.
And I would tell you if I don't. What is funny, listen, man, I love media spats. I think they're
I know
fun.
you do.
I love when you get all riled up, and it is irritating, I'm certain, for guys like you and Rob who go in and do this on a daily. You guys are shoveling coal when it comes to getting the local, covering this team in an in-depth way. Schrags and a lot of the national people, it's the bird's eye view. And then it's, well, we'll see and we'll hear. So I can understand why you guys are irritated. And this is why when Rob Domofsky puts out that Jaire is going to get traded or released, the problem when you say those things is that is what happens. What's what you expect to have happen. You don't know how the other dominoes are going to fall. You don't know that nobody was willing to give up anything for Jaire. Mm-hmm. You don't know that nobody was going to pay Jaire anything close to what Green Bay could do under somewhat of a very cap-friendly operation with dead cap money looming.
Mm-hmm.
Things do change quickly in this league, and if anybody, I say it all the time, Eddie Lacy, this scenario reminds you that. Jaire Alexander 3 or 4 years ago, I would have thought was going to be a decoy and could potentially be one of the best defensive backs we've seen because he was playing at an incredibly high level.
And then Najee Harris ran him over.
Breaks his shoulder in half. He breaks his shoulder in half, and everything changes. And now a contract that was given to Jaire doesn't look great. The last 2 years have been blah. Nobody wanted to take trust Jason and Rob on this. If Brian Gutekunst could have gotten anything of substance, he was gone. They didn't have a roster bonus or anything that triggered a release. So now that there's a workout bonus that is in play, and he virtually worked out, Green Bay doesn't want to give him, and I don't know what the workup, I'm guessing $500K. There's $500K on the line that Jaire is going to want, but if he comes into the facility and gets hurt, his money is guaranteed next season.
Correct.
Green Bay can't do it. So now the rubber hits the road, which just so happens to be 3 days before Schrags is wolfing down at dinner with LaFleur. And LaFleur, while he probably loves the fact, well, Jaire, if he can come back, he can be a help to help us win games, he doesn't like all of the other stuff that's happened and his non-reliability to play. So Jaire Alexander is in a position where you have to make a decision because you can't let him come in and work out. You can't leave him in limbo. You have to make a decision. He has to make a decision. The timing is now, and there's not any better options for him. So let's make this thing work. Yes, February story is not May 1st story. Schrags came in May 1st where the story has played itself out, and now we're in a position where Jaire, his best case scenario is to come back and try to earn his lost money back with a team. By the way, nobody said he didn't have a good relationship with Jeff Hafley. I didn't hear anybody say that on this.
No,
at least
I said
on
the
our
opposite
show.
repeatedly.
That was one of the drawing points for him to potentially come back. So let's just be honest. This is what it is. Couldn't get anything for him. He couldn't get the money he wanted somewhere else. Nobody was going to trade anything for him. So sometimes that grass isn't greener on the other side. This is an example of that scenario.
All right, a couple other things. First
but it
of
is
all,
fun.
I know you love it, and I knew you loved it last night.
I love that you get this irritated about it because for everybody else, say, don't take your job, don't let it get personal. This is personal because they're basically saying you guys are idiots.
Yes,
what just said.
And that's what. Look, yeah. I don't mind being. If I'm wrong on something, I'm wrong on something. I have been telling the story repeatedly, and if you would like to,
you hedge a lot. Try to make sure.
I avoid putting myself in positions to be wrong or right.
Jordan Love will have a new contract by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but I never said
Final Four.
Never said which Thanksgiving.
I put a specifier. I specify. I've learned from watching you, Dad. I've learned.
Thanks. So a couple things. One, I
in fairness, I don't think.
Well, believe me, and I know it wasn't. A couple things. One, I have told the story repeatedly. Okay. Follow the breadcrumbs, and maybe you'll have an idea of who I was referring to when I said that I had a conversation with someone who works in the building who said, Jason, the thing is, the guy can still play. He is still an elite-level player. And I replied, when he plays. And then he replied,
good comeback.
Yeah, Jason, you're right. You're right. I can tell you, and I've said this before, that LaFleur stayed in touch with Jaire throughout because he didn't know what was going to happen with him. And Goody is the GM. He makes the ultimate call. So Matt LaFleur, not knowing what the future holds, has stayed in contact with him throughout the entire process. So the fact that they're now in a good place, hey, way to go, Matt, right? Because had you burned the bridge assuming that since Goody's talking about trading him at the NFL meetings, that he's going to be gone and you just sort of don't keep in touch with him, even though he's on your roster, that would be a mistake by you as the head coach. So again, and finally, no one here, again, not Rob Domofsky either, okay? Certainly not me. I've said it enough. None of us are trying to run Jaire out of town, okay? I don't know how many times I have to tell the story about him giving us a quote for the back of Sid's basketball team's T-shirts, because we like to have an inspirational quote on the back of them when I make them every year. He wore the shirt. We got him a shirt. He wore it to...
Jaire gave you a quote?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I ain't nobody's captain. Is that what it was?
Everything you need is within you. Which is I thought was pretty good.
We're going to credit Jaire Alexander for coming up with that one.
Bob Moore did say it first, but I don't think he subscribes to Tausch's weekly quote of the day or quote of the week.
Feels like a lot of movies might have had that one at some point in the last 30 years.
But again,
why did you ask Jaire? And why did you ask Jaire to do this?
I didn't ask him for it. We were having a conversation because he wore an Ashwaubenon shirt to work one day. And then he asked, isn't that where your kids go to school? We were going back and forth. I said, in fact, I'm just making T-shirts. I have to come up with an inspirational quote for the back because we do it every year for her season. And he said, I'll give you a quote. Now, in fairness to your both of your points, not the most inspirational quote or original quote.
I think it's good.
But when he offers it up,
inspirational. It's just not. I wouldn't credit Jaire Alexander as the person who said it.
You try to run Jaire out of town, and now you're bad-mouthing his quote?
I'm not bad-mouthing his quote. The originality level, we can all agree, is not high.
Thanks for nothing, Jaire. I mean,
you're welcome
wow.
for nothing. We made an extra shirt so he'd have one. He wore it to work multiple times. We have a great relationship, was my point. We're getting bogged down in the details of the shirt.
You try to run him out of town, according to Drags. I don't know how great a relationship.
Hey, I got one. I just came up with this one for you next year. Never underestimate the heart of a champion.
Nut whack.
Nut whack.
I love it.
All right. So anyway, none of us are trying to run him out of town. We aren't. And if he ends up coming back, great. I hope he talks a little more frequently. But there are about 3 or 4 guys that he trusts in the locker room that he talks to. I'm one of them, and I enjoy talking to him. So I don't want to see him leave.
Let's get him on the horn. Give him a holler.
I did not. So he also required me to be put through an exhaustive background check in order to get his phone number. And we were approaching.
What does that look like? What does that look like?
Well, stop telling us all this interesting
references.
You had to give references?
I did.
Who did you give?
Yeah.
Who are your references?
I had to give other players as references.
Oh.
Like who?
Xavier McKinney, Keyshawn Nixon.
You barely know McKinney.
But
Xavier
they both gave
McKinney
me
is
their
referencing
numbers.
you. Guy's there for a day.
What?
This was right before the knee injury.
This is a super goofy operation.
We could do a whole show just on this.
Jordan Love.
So Jaire is with the team 5-6 years, doesn't give you his number. Xavier McKinney comes in at minicamp, you get his number, and a week later, Jaire's like, all right, yep, Xavier said you're good.
No, I had to give references plural.
Hey, X, will you be my reference for Jaire? He might call you.
Do you
just
text him
recommend me
and ask him, or how do you even get that reference? You sit down and say, hey, Jaire's putting me through a thorough interview. You gave me your number after I met you. Can you say that
only
I'm a
because
good
I
dude
compared you to
Jaire?
Charles Woodson, of course.
We've talked twice, but hey, can you be my
no,
reference?
it was late. All right.
Yeah,
I hate
definitely
that we're
something
bogged
there.
down in this. I'm totally losing control.
Your
of this.
hate, we're bogged down. This is the best part of the whole deal. The hell are you talking about, bogged down? You getting a thorough interview from Jaire Alexander to get his phone number? That's crazy.
Generally speaking, guys do not put me or other reporters through this ringer to do it. Okay? So this was mid-October. It was right before he injured his knee. So I had talked to Xavier McKinney a bunch. But he wanted to know who else has given you their number. That was the reference part of it.
That's
Xavier
a good
McKinney,
question. Okay.
Keyshawn Nixon, Jordan Love, Dontavion Wicks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right.
If
what do you...
Dontavion Wicks doesn't give you his, I don't know who would. I mean, you have been basically, I don't want to use the quick trip term. You know what you've been doing with him. It's a certain kind of donut, if you know what I mean.
Dunking?
And
Have
it's
I
not
been
a dunker.
dunking?
There it is. You have not been dunking on him, I can tell you that. Actually, that'd be a good segment, Jesse. What's it?
Glazer
or
dunker?
Dunk?
Yes. I want that in next week. That'd be a
All right,
fun
we'll
little
do it.
segment.
That's actually a really good idea.
No, boy, is Glaze City, USA when it comes to Wixie.
So anyway, so that was the first hurdle. Then the second one was asking Nate Locascio, one of the PR guys, to vouch for me that I said, Jaire, I've been covering you since you got here. Like, I think you know who I am. Yeah, still, I think this is an important process to go through, quote.
I agree with Jaire. I agree.
So then I had to ask Nate to come over and vouch for me.
I have been on Jaire's bandwagon. His last 2 seasons just hasn't been good. He might become my new favorite player after this story.
Just because he put me through this process?
Vetting process.
Yeah, I think it's the Kenny Clark, and I think Jaire. Those are my guys now.
Kenny trusted me with his number. I hardly ever use, and then he said, "Well, what are you going to use it for?" I said, "Look, I am not going to use it. I'm not going to be texting you randomly saying, "Hey, good morning. How are things going?" If something happens, I would like to be able to reach out to you.
Here's what I want you to do over the commercial break, and don't you dare get pouty. This is where you get pouty, and I don't like that. Just learn a lesson from when you text Goody. And say, hey, a lot of conjecture about what's going to happen to you next season. If you're going to come back to the Green Bay Packers, don't text me back. If you're not, reach out.
Right, but I never.
Like
so here's the problem, and Rick in the YouTube comments just said he was messing with you. He used a different word. I know he was messing with me. Right, we have a good rapport. Well, okay. He was certainly entertaining himself by giving me a hard time.
Yes.
Okay? But
he also wanted to vet you. Both things can be true.
Yes, both things can be
You never know what's going to come up. Yeah.
All right, here's the problem. So all this is going on in mid-October, and then he gets hurt in the Jacksonville game, and he never talked again. So I would see him in the locker room. I would say hello. You don't want to be, hey, did I pass the test? I never got the number. Then
just wait, you don't even have his number?
This is my point. You never let me finish the damn story.
Come on.
You can't even text him if you want.
So you didn't even pass the vetting process.
No, we never completed the vetting process.
The blank is going on?
What kind of dirt does he have on you?
Oh, my God.
So if I may finish so we can get the break.
So you can't even text it.
No, that's the problem. And so that's why the devastation.
All this, and he doesn't even have his number?
The locker cleanout day, no, he was not going to talk to anyone but me.
Except for you. Except for our guy.
And then the TV crews came coming, and that's when we had the whole incident about you don't want to talk to me, I might not even be here next year.
Yeah, that's a good
And
quote.
then, so that was going to be, I get him one-on-one, and I'm like, all right, did I pass the process? I need that number in case something happens this offseason. So not only did I not get the interview, I didn't get the number. Everything was ruined, Jerry.
What was that quote that he gave you to put on the back of your shirt?
Everything you need is within you.
Not his phone number.
Except his phone number. All right. Why don't you tell us about Quick Trip at 9:46 as we wrap up the second segment of the hour?
That was a long journey right there.
Was it worth it?
That was a very long journey.
Was it worth it?
With no payout.
How is there no payout? That's a great story. You love that
don't even have his
story.
number.
It's
it's a fun story.
You know, in sitcoms,
I digress.
like TV sitcoms, they always say you want to tell a great story and then end up exactly where you started. I feel like that's what we just did over 25 minutes. We got back to right where we started this whole thing.
Wilde doesn't have his number. Yep.
Life's busy. Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're craving that fresh coffee, a tasty bakery treat, or a quick grab-and-go meal, Quick Trip has you covered. Yesterday, I stopped in. Got Eleanor after her big play practice. One of those smoothies, but it was a banana split, which I hadn't seen before. That's a fun machine. You put that cup down, and you just watch magic happen. Ice goes in there, and you put whatever else goes in. You dump it over into the little whip, 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 whip. Yeah, there you go. Jesse's got it. Of course, that's probably a sample that he had. That was fun. You got the chicken. We had fried chicken yesterday, juicy chicken tenders. That's a Wednesday deal. And you got everything else. You got 8-count, 2 for $3 with Nature's Touch, or the buns. You got butter. You got bananas, onions, baked potatoes, 29 cents a pound. You fuel your day with quality taste. Jason, I'm sure you made another pit stop on the way back on Quick Trip. You can get free air, gas, fast service, quality, variety. It has everything you're looking for in Quick Trip. Plus, use Quick Rewards on every visit. You can order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. Quick Trip. We'll see you next time.
We'll see what the Talk and Text line, the carbless Talk and Text line, has to say about our story time.
All right, so we deduct.
No. Don't say anything else.
All right.
More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Mark Tauscher here, and heading into Mother's Day weekend, you know it's an extra special Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. If you're gearing up for a long-awaited paint project, Hallman Lindsay should be your first stop. They make the search for paint and stain in the Madison area super easy. Plus, you can also get connected with Hallman Lindsay's pro painters to help with your biggest projects. I can't recommend them enough. Just stop into any Hallman Lindsay location, ask, and they'll connect you with the pros that best fit what your project calls for. And Hallman Lindsay is the only paint made to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. It's why we always say Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint. Check them out at hallmanlindsay.com. That's hallmanlindsay.com. Home and Lindsay, great paint, great people. And stay tuned for Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio. Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies face Jose Ramirez and the Cleveland Guardians. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern with first pitch at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store in Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop
that's
stab,
his favorite.
and the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Some differing opinions on our lengthy story of the Jaire Alexander phone number saga. In the YouTube comments, some believe that it was hilarious and entertaining. Others found it to be a bit of a waste of time. I personally believe the fact that I ultimately didn't get the number is the perfect capper to the story. Like, I think that actually makes the story better, personally. Jim in the Berg, number gate. This is like hanging out with the boys all night in the bar and hoping you get someone's number at the end of the night, all for nothing in the end. Yeah, look, we've all been there, too. And again, this is not, I know my guy Puddin here, access journalism. No, I understand that's a fun buzzword. I do believe in building relationships. I built one with the guy that hosts the show with me. But if he played great, I was fair. If he struggled, which didn't happen very often, I was fair. I had good working relationships with a lot of guys. I didn't use your phone number very often once I got it. I don't want to bother guys. So it is not about the access. But this would have been an instance where I would have liked to have been able to reach him. And so I'm disappointed it didn't work out, because I do think maybe even we would have had him on the show to tell his side of the story. And so ultimately, as funny as that story was, I was irritated at locker room cleanout day that I thought he's going to get cut. I'm never going to talk to the guy again. And there's still that possibility. But be that as it may, Erica texts in on the Carbless Talk text line. Tell him you have ACR and Love's phone numbers, so I should be good enough to get yours. Yeah, I gave him my references. They never really paid off.
If he doesn't FaceTime Rodgers, he's never going to hear from him on him.
Yeah. All right. That was fun, but now it's done. Did you have any other questions before we move on?
Well, I mean, what would be your access to Jaire? Is it texting Xavier? Because at this point, let's stick it up Schrags as you know what. Let's get this done. Let's find out.
So I can text Xavier McKinney and Keyshawn Nixon, but again, neither one of them is going to. I mean, they were there. They were there during this process. Like, they were standing there. I pointed to them as references. They were laughing. So I don't foresee them saying, oh, yeah, here. And they send, you know how on your iPhone you can send a contact in a text message?
Sure.
I don't foresee them sending me, Ja. Because, again, never reached that point. But we can.
The only thing missing from this story is he gives you a number and it's either missing a digit at the end or it's a wrong number, and he gives you like his cousin's number or something.
Yeah. Again, it was a fun exercise, and someday Jaire and I will sit down and he'll have a Coors Light and I'll have a bubbler and we'll all laugh about it.
That's the goal. Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold package, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing, it is crisp, and it's only 102 calories. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Carolina chimes in. That was a good abject rejection story cloaked in acceptance. I don't know what that means. I just thought it was a fun story.
I like that. I thought that response was very. Anytime you get cloaked into
it's a good word.
Usually
put that on the T-shirt next year for the JV, whatever it is.
We will wrap up the 9 o'clock hour, which still has one segment to go. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Bucks.
This is the greatest player this franchise has had since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And now they might be in a position where they're forced to deal him away.
Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. hit the ground running. Jeff Grimes' impact going beyond the field. Wisconsin's new offensive coordinator reaching out to Badger alumni with this promise, bringing back Bucky brand football. UW legend Monte Ball with insight on their convo during his appearance on the Jump Around digital show.
I absolutely love about the guy is first impressions are important, and so he texted me and mentioned that he's looking forward to bringing back that identity that we have seemed to have lost, dominating these teams and imposing our will. Literally what he was texting us. So I'm excited to see how he's going to implement that.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
We see you out there, building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like 14-ounce tubes of Blaine's brand multi-purpose grease, $1.99. Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with a $100 Scotch purchase. Plus, this Saturday from 9 to 2, don't miss special offers and test drive select zero-turns and lawn tractors during our Ride and Drive event. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
NIL is coming to high school sports in Wisconsin. Head over to the ESPN Wisconsin app if you missed any of last week's interview with the executive director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser. She gives a full explanation of what NIL will look like and the misconceptions that come with NIL. Again, you can listen back to the full interview on the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Live the high life at Nitty Gritty, home of the famous Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Celebrate your birthday at Nitty Gritty and receive a free memento birthday mug to fill with free beer, specialty birthday cocktails, or soda all day long. The Nitty Gritty has celebrated almost 900,000 birthdays, and birthday celebrant number 900,000 will receive a $1,000 Amex gift card. Grab some friends and celebrate your birthday at the Nitty Gritty, located in Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The Nitty Gritty, a tradition since 1968.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Eric Name joins Marcus and Chris for an off-season Bucks conversation. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Take my heart, don't break it. Love me to my bones.
I had a lovely dinner with Matt LaFleur during draft week in Green Bay, and I brought it up, and I don't think he'd mind me saying it, saying like, we're actually in a good place with Jaire. You know, obviously there was some stuff last year and the coin toss situation a couple years back, and all that stuff is all head-scratching stuff that would drive a coach nuts when you're trying to run a disciplined program. But from what I gather, this thing is in a lot better place than what was being presented in the media, and that there is a place for Jaire Alexander in Green Bay. And I think he and Jeff Hafley actually have had a great relationship, and it's a different breed and it's a different time. And I don't know exactly how it nets itself out, but like, when he was being listed as that number one trade target, I don't think that was coming from Green Bay. And if you know Goody at all, he wasn't leaking that to anybody. So that was a lot of outside noise, I believe. We'll see how it figures itself out, though.
We'll see how it figures itself out, though. That is Peter Schrager of ESPN, formerly of Good Morning Football. I don't know why you felt the need to play that again, just to try and irritate me, but be that as it may. Tausch, we need to get to the 10 o'clock hour. We had a great time yesterday at the Hard Rock Casino, Rockford. We are going back again next month. Hopefully, lots of folks, because we had a lot of visitors come. Larry drove 181 miles from Iowa. That was great. Jeff took a day off from teaching to come see us. Obviously, another Jeff in Monroe came all the way from Monroe
recently retired, we learned yesterday.
We did, and getting ready for the big nuptials next month as well. A lot of folks made the trip. We appreciate their loyalty to the show. Hopefully you'll make the trip to Hard Rock Casino Rockford.
It was a blast. You know what? You see it, then you live it. You sit in the seats. You look up at the big screen for the sports book. You see the rock shop. You see the restaurants. You see all those slots. 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book, a rock shop, the whole thing. And we found out yesterday, if you're hungry, and we were, guests can enjoy diverse dining options at the Hard Rock Cafe, Council Oaks steaks and seafood. I'm going to have to switch when we go down there next time. Maybe do Jim, Matt, and Molly, maybe do a flip-flopper and go down there so we can eat the steaks and we can get at the UU Noodle Bar and we can get after all of that. But Hard Rock, we had a great time. You will as well. Again, it's right about an hour, door to door, right down there off of I-90. Couldn't be an easier trip down in Rockford, Illinois, a premier entertainment destination. Hard Rock Casino, Rockford.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Milwaukee Brewers stretch against interleague opponents continues tonight as the crew is back on the road. The first of 3 for the weekend series in Tampa, taking on the Rays. 6:05 first pitch tonight for the Brewers and Rays. Pre-game coverage starts at 5:30 following Jim, Matt, and Molly right here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Jose Quintana scheduled to get the start on the mound for Milwaukee tonight. Football, the latest on Jaire Alexander's potential return to Green Bay. Peter Schrager weighing in yesterday on the Pat McAfee Show. You can find that full clip available on ESPNWisconsin.com. That's also where you can find ESPN's NFL analysts with bold predictions for rookies in the 2025 draft class, including 2 that are in agreement on what Matthew Golden could provide as the Packers' potential number 1 wide receiver this year. Check it out over at ESPNWisconsin.com. More conversation around the green and gold continues on Wilde and Tausch right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. Not live from Hard Rock Casino, Rockford. That was really fun yesterday, though, so thanks again to Tim and everybody there for being such gracious hosts. I do want to get away from phone number acquisition conversations and more to some football conversations. Tausch, you and I, earlier in the offseason, spent a fair amount of time talking about how we envision, and we agree on this, we envisioned this offense being run through 2 guys, Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft. And if Luke Musgrave is healthy and happy and productive, that this could be a very tight end-centric system of a passing game. Matt LaFleur said earlier in the offseason that he could see a tight end like Travis Kelce is in Kansas City being the number one wide receiver, that he doesn't limit that concept to wide receivers. But now they've drafted Matthew Golden. They've drafted Savion Williams. They may or may not trade Romeo Doubs, which we haven't even really gotten into that conjecture. But they have added to the wide receiver group. And a first-round pick is a big deal. So is it possible that maybe there will be a shift back toward more wide receiver-related passing game concepts? That was the question that was on our buddy Rob Domowski's mind when Matt LaFleur spoke with us before the rookie minicamp practice. Here is that exchange from last week.
I know you coaches have spent the whole offseason studying stuff and adding things, but after you guys pick up a couple of guys like you did in the draft offensively, do you then go back and say, okay, well, maybe we should add more of this or that because of the skill set that those two guys have, or no?
Probably not right now. I think that'll, again, the more we're around these guys, see what they really do well. You always have an idea. I think it's an important part of it as you're going through the draft process is you want to have a vision for how you would potentially use somebody. So that's just part of the evaluation, part of our process, whether it's free agency or the draft. And that's what you're trying to communicate to our scouting department is, hey, here's how we would like, or here's how we would envision using this guy. But ultimately, I think a lot more of that's determined after the fact. When you get them in the building, you get to work with them on a daily basis. You see how fast they pick things up. Inevitably, there's going to be something that's going to surprise you in a positive light that they do really well that you're like, oh, shoot, maybe I didn't recognize that just off the tape. So I think it's all about just that process of working together and kind of growing together.
So, Tausch, do you think these picks change the way they might operate offensively in any meaningful way?
Not today. I thought LaFleur's answer was really good. And when I was on with Jim, Matt, and Molly yesterday, same kind of question was brought up. Is this offense still going to be Tucker Kraft-based? And yes, as we sit here now. But just like the Jaire Alexander scenario started one spot, you need to have an open mind about what could happen. And I think you don't draft a wide receiver 23rd overall, first time since 2002, to have him be a wallflower. Now, you also don't position it where I'm expecting him to be Justin Jefferson. It would be awesome if that happens, but you want to give him a chance to understand where he's at and then to see where his skill set kind of aligns with what your vision is. And then if his skill set is as good as we hope, you better find ways to get him the football. So whether you're talking about Savion Williams or Golden, you go into it with very little expectation. And as you watch them work and as you watch them kind of figure things out, you start sprinkling. You don't need to be throwing, a waterfall at people. Start it with just a little sprinkle. And then hopefully by October, November, you can ratchet that bad boy up and next thing you know, it becomes that waterfall that you're looking for. Start small, a little, even if it's just a little tinkle out of the hose. And then all of a sudden you get, okay, I can open up that spigot a little bit. We can get it out. Okay, we get that. And then, I can open it up a little bit more. And, all of a sudden what you'd love to get is by Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is that time of year.
Fire hose
where you're
time.
looking and you say, it is time to crank the water valve open and let this thing go. That's the goal. So as we sit here now, no. You're just getting the hose out of the garage. You're just thinking about putting it into the outside water socket, and you go from there. And you let it rip. And you hope you don't need it to be plush green in the get-go. You want to be plush green come January, February, winning a championship.
So you also mentioned this.
I like that. Tell me that's crazy. I was really good. I can assure you, as we started, I had no idea where I was going with that. I can assure you of that.
Thanks for letting us know, because we thought you had that planned all along.
Yeah.
I would say the sound effects, which, by the way, for a guy whose voices, when he tries to do them, are abject failures. What was the phrase?
What does that mean?
Your voice, when you do voices,
do an Irish accent or a pirate accent. They're the same voice.
I want to make sure I give Carolina her just due for her whatever that phrase was earlier. I'll have to look it up. But for a guy whose voices are sketchy at best,
okay,
your sound effects, you were like the dude in Police Academy right there.
You do a good sprinkler.
Like the sprinkler, that was so good.
Thank you.
Now, waterfall, I would have gone fire hose at the very beginning of your analogy. But beyond that, I give it an A.
I mean, there's
Jesse?
Going from teeny tiny tinkle sprinkler to like big time like it's still just a sprinkler. Like I think you needed to do some more there. Also, Thanksgiving in the metro, like Thanksgiving weekend is a lot of times when homeowners in the state of Wisconsin will put their outside yard stuff away, including the hose and the sprinklers. So I don't know if that makes sense to use Thanksgiving in a sprinkler analogy when to open it up, when you're actually like, that's when you're putting it away.
I think you're being unfairly critical, frankly.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's being a jerk.
A lot of car time yesterday with old Tia. It's okay.
Yeah, how did that go, by the way? We never really heard about the actual travel.
We were good. Pink Pony Club.
It went great.
Play a lot of Sabrina Carpenter, too.
We took bets.
We took bets. Then we listened to KBN, and what were they talking about? That I told Jesse to get the audio, which I'm sure he did.
I did not. No.
Okay.
Strofe getting after Homer, calling him an old man, but not in a nice way. It was very mean.
We listened to KBN, and they were very hard on Steve the Homer True, and we will not stand for that. Like that was. Anyways, you can get after me about the sprinkler, but the bottom line, just bringing it back, I think you want Matthew Golden to be a star, but that doesn't mean he needs to be a star tomorrow. He doesn't need – I want to see, just like when I always asked you about Jordan Love as he was going through his development process, do you see some things that you love? Because – and I think this was Homer that said this. Maybe it was you. That with young players, and especially rookies,
this is a homerism.
It's not about their mistakes. They're gonna make mistakes. It's about those home run moments, those wow moments that we talked about. If you see some of those, you can see what can be, because all good players have mistakes. Young players, they're thinking too much. When they really get that elevator, start climbing the mental up to the physical, it's when they start not having to think. It's becomes second nature to them. Very rarely do rookies have that happen. And I don't know if Matthew Golden will be one of those guys. I hope he is. But if he's not, you want to make sure you continue to see that growth. And you want to see, oh, my God, did you see what he did at practice today? The James Campen with Aaron Rodgers, backing it up and saying, can you believe this cat can make that throw? And we're all like, well, what are you, that's scout team, whatever. But you get it and you say, ooh, ooh, ooh.
All right, there's another piece of information that we got from Matt LaFleur last week that I wanted to get to, and him talking about Matthew Golden. We'll do that coming up after Tausch tells us, are we getting down to the end here for our contestants for the Kohler Services
it finished last weekend.
Spanking new?
Yeah, we had a bunch of entries. I don't know when we're going to announce who won, but that was a fun contest. But Kohler Services are always looking out for you. If you've been putting off getting that bath or shower remodel, the time is now to turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned, 150 years. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel with no interest financing for 12 months. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request that free quote with fast professional installation. Always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
When we sat down with Matt LaFleur on draft day, I don't want to say Tausch had a premonition, but he read the tea leaves. He had a feeling, like, what is that, the Black Eyed Peas? I got a feeling.
I got a feeling.
Yeah. Based on Matt LaFleur's vibe. And he turned out to be right. I'll tell you what that was, and then we'll hear what Matt LaFleur had to say about what ultimately happened on draft day. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust. There is nothing like a great summer road trip. And whether you're traveling around the state or around the country, it's the time of year to start thinking about your plans to hit the road for a new adventure in the coming months. And with all the things to consider, what to do, how to get there, where you'll stay, the absolute last thing you want to worry about for a summer road trip is car trouble. Make sure your vehicle is ready to take on every potential challenge thanks to the fantastic service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires, change the oil, and make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you can focus on fun and not finding maintenance help during your summer road trip this year. Call Zimbrick Chevrolet to schedule an appointment with their incredible service team or check out their services and schedule an appointment online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit MapleHillGolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no interest financing for 12 months.
Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
This is our crew.
Terrain is up, scrambling home. He's going to score, and Yelich into third. Oh, the Brewers with the double steal.
You're listening to Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball, 100.5 ESPN.
Let's make tonight the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. Got no reason not to celebrate. Baby, I just don't wanna wait. Tonight's the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait.
Jesse is in the club on the reverse cam. You think you're a good dancer?
No.
Appreciate your honesty. So, Tausch, when we sat down with Matt LaFleur, which, again, you can get all of the 30-minute conversation on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, your state, your teams, your ESPN. You got a feeling. You thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, that he thought he might be getting a wide receiver in the first round. Is that an accurate depiction of the vibe you got that day?
Very accurate. Very, very accurate.
And then lo and behold, at number 23, Mark Murphy stepped to the dais and delivered the good news that Matthew Golden was the pick. It was a very, very, very cool moment.
Apparently they like green and gold.
It was awesome. Awesome for Mark, awesome for Packers fans, awesome for Matthew Golden. Matt LaFleur then was asked, as we got ready for the rookie camp last week, about the talent that Golden and Savion Williams, who was taken on day 2 in the third round, have, and the kind of vibe he gets from them. Here is how Matt LaFleur answered that.
Obviously very excited about the talent that both those guys bring, for sure. Especially, being out there and just kind of being around them a little bit. And I love how serious they are about ball. And I can say that collectively, not that I know these guys that well yet. I mean, I've only been around them not even 24 hours, most of those guys. But they just, I can tell we got a group that I think loves the game of football, and they treat people the right way. And that was evident, just the feedback I got from whether it's our athletic trainers or whoever, just how respectful these guys are. And to me, that's a big thing. You got to. That's what we're all about. We want to be first class.
Tausch, we've talked a lot about this lately. We talked about the loves football aspect of drafting guys. I'm working on a story for channel3000.com because Brian Gutekunst kept referring to guys coming out on the other side after going through adversity. Matthew Golden and his mom sleeping in their car outside of a Walmart. That's real life adversity. That's not football adversity. But is there anything to, LaFleur I would hope everyone treats the athletic training staff respectfully. They're there to help you. But when he talks about these guys from a character perspective, how do you kind of process that? How do you view that? Because this is not something that I heard talked about a lot for most of my time covering the league.
No, it's always talked about. I think I can remember Mike Sherman kind of talking about making sure, hey guys, treat the bus driver with respect, treat the janitors with I think there is something inherent about your character and how you go about your business, and the Packer way. And you notice you always give the drivers, pilots, whatever, flight attendants, you give them Green Bay stuff. You want everybody to feel like they're a part of the team, because if the buses don't get you there, if the plane, you want to incorporate that in. That's when you know things are going. And I think now it's always been the biggest variable in the formula, analytics or not, is how is a guy going to react when they get some money? How is a guy are they going to change? Are you going to keep working? Will that money motivate you to be greater, or will that money sedentarize you where you just are?
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part, and you can't answer that question until you go through it. So you try to get as much data and you try to figure it out. But the way I look at it is you can tell by the way a guy plays. And I would always look to, how does a guy play when you're down 31-0? Or does a guy want to come out of the game and you're in that spot? Does he want to keep competing? Does he finish his blocks? As a wide receiver, is he willing to put his nose in there and dig out a safety when he's supposed to? Or is he more about, well, I'm not catching the ball, I ain't interested in that?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things you look for, and you hope you – and the nice part about it is, if you get that culture built up and you have your best players not missing practice and giving great effort all the time, it makes it really difficult for people that are, I guess, in Jesse's terms, on tiers below them talent-wise. How on earth are they ever going to not give that effort or not do everything that they can to win? And that's what, when people say winning culture, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I can't do that because I'm not going to be able to, I can't play here. And coaches always say, I can't coach effort, or I'm not going to coach effort. If you have to coach effort with anyone, you're screwed. This league is too razor thin, and there's too many guys that you don't have to. If you're coaching effort at any stretch during a season, it's over. Forget about it. Because I can assure you the teams that are going to be making a bunch of noise in January and February, they're not sitting there saying, hey, did you touch the line on a sprint, or did you finish that play? Were there any loafs? You got a bunch of loafing going around. It's going to be, you're going to be on the first train out of town.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have a winning culture, and hopefully we have a winning culture when it comes to trivia, because we've got a Vortex rangefinder to give away. The first one, you're not eligible. Wow. Did you reach out about your binos yet?
No, not yet.
Jesse, what is today's category, and which caller would you prefer?
We're going off the board today. Not Packers related, not geography. The Milwaukee Brewers have a weekend series with the Tampa Bay Rays this weekend. The Tampa Bay Rays are trivia category today. Questions about.
Are they any good this year? Is Tampa good?
No, they're very average. Very average.
Is that in Tampa?
It is in Tampa. Yes.
Where are they playing their game?
Steinbrenner Field.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Whoa, hey. Whoa, hey.
Just wait. Is that one of the trivia questions? You said it in your sports center.
Caller 10.
Caller 10 for trivia. 844-770-3776. 844.
I didn't say if it was Hal or Hank. I didn't say if it was Hal or Hank.
3776.
Rays
Caller
are
10
16-21 this year. 16
plays
and 21.
trivia next. Tausch, tell us about American Family Insurance, which hopefully the Rays had.
I will.
A while back.
Happy to tell you about American Family Insurance, a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch since the jump, and for almost 100 years. They've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection. All so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
Trivia is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 20th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Baltimore Orioles.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 20th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Big winners are wanted this May at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, so saddle up and ride on in for the biggest prizes in town. It's all fixing to start at high noon on Saturday, May 31st. 30 winners will each be selected to collect a $1,000 prize. And that same afternoon, 3 more of our most wanted will each wrangle a $10,000 cash prize. That's $60,000 paid out in one day. Get your share of the bounty this May at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit maplehillgolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
We see you out there, building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like assorted 5-gallon Midwest can fuel cans, $16.99. Save up to $300 on select Cub Cadet lawn tractors. Plus, this Saturday from 9 to 2, don't miss special offers and test drive select zero-turns and lawn tractors during our Ride and Drive event. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
Join the Brewers on May 17th for a one-of-a-kind cribbage board giveaway, courtesy of 620 WTMJ. The first 25,000 fans through the gates will get the special board featuring the famous racing sausages. Get tickets now at brewers.com/giveaways.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA.
We're on the Bucks.
There's going to be no city that loves Giannis as much as he's beloved here.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
The story of him walking around without a winter jacket and somebody picked him up and brought him to the Bucks practice facilities. Like, that will never happen anywhere else.
Madison's home of the Bucks. 100.5 ESPN.
We'll get back to Matthew Golden and Savion Williams and Matt LaFleur coming up. But now it's time for trivia.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
It is time for trivia presented by Vortex Golf. Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Chris in Cedarburg. Chris, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We are fantastic. Fantastic. And hopefully you are too with your answers to
It's been
trivia.
a while. I might be a little rusty.
Well, we tried to give you some answers. Well, we didn't try to. We sort of were stumbling around close to it. Let's see if we helped you at all. Question number 1 is this.
Not going to let Tausch ask it? What the heck?
Well, I never know.
No, I'm
He
taking
didn't-
the morning off.
Yeah, see,
No,
I read the biorhythms here. I got you.
Jesse,
I got
just let
you.
Jason and I handle it. Okay.
Question 1 is this.
After Maycomb yesterday, I'm shattered. I'm done with that. Oh, you
My
ruined
toothbrush.
trivia. Oh, you totally ruined trivia.
Macomb, my razor, and my toothbrush were legendary options, and
Yeah,
you
I did-
stumbled all
I
over
did
it.
butcher it. That's fair. Is it Macomb, Georgia? Or is it
That's
Macon?
Macon.
Macon, like bacon, yeah.
I look forward to Georgia trivia someday. Is it Macon, Georgia, Bacon, Georgia, or Fakin, Georgia? All right, question 1, Chris, is this. After Tropicana Field suffered significant hurricane damage last year, the Tampa Bay Rays are playing home games this year at an 11,000-seat spring training stadium that goes by which name?
Huh.
Is it Steinbrenner Field, Reinsdorf Stadium, or Magic Johnson Mountain?
Jeez, I have no clue. Was this one of the answers you spilled before?
Well, I think we hinted that this would be the question, which would have given some folks the opportunity to perhaps look it up and cheat. But thank you for your high character by not cheating.
No, I guess I'll go with Steinbrenner Field.
Good decision. Deductive reasoning. The Yankees have their spring training facility in Florida. Steinbrenner, owner of the Yankees for many years. Boom. Well done. Question
Lucky
2.
guess.
It is kind of funny that they're playing at the Yankees spring training stadium when that's one of their division rivals.
Yeah, well, they got to have somewhere to play. I think our girls had one of the last events that they held at Tropicana Field. They had a big, huge gymnastics meet there, and then shortly thereafter was when the moment occurred that the hurricane went through. So are they rebuilding it, or what did they do?
Well, they were trying to get a brand new stadium, and I think that fell through. So now they're probably going to have to go through
the roof
repairs on Tropicana. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just move to Nashville.
Yeah.
Just be done with it.
Be done with it. Yeah. All right.
Nashville
Question
Rays.
2.
Yeah.
Question 2, Chris. In the most recent wave of MLB expansion, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays debuted in 1998. Wow, I didn't realize it was that long ago. Along with which other Major League Baseball franchise? Was it the Colorado Rockies, the Arizona Diamondbacks, or the Washington Nationals?
So 98, you said, huh?
That's what Jesse said. I just read it.
I know it's not Colorado. So since I took A before, let's go with C.
The Washington Nationals is incorrect. You are rusty. The Arizona Diamondbacks were the other expansion team at the time. All right, let's bounce back. Question 3. Boy, this is a tough category. I don't think you're rusty. I just think most people don't know a whole heck of a lot about the Tampa Bay
I'm telling you
Rays.
right now, Fridays are Jesse's. I'm going to be a jerk store, especially. I would bet. You know what? Let's just do a little fun trivia between us before we get back to Chris.
Okay.
I would venture to say Jesse's not going up north this weekend because if he's going up north,
he's in a better mood.
He's in a friendlier mood and he gets easier questions. If he doesn't, he's more jerk storish, and he's going to go, especially the first week that we're giving away this awesome prize pack with the rangefinder in it. I think he's a little bit resentful. He doesn't get a rangefinder. And he's a little irritated. He ain't going up north. That's what I think's happening.
All right, Jesse, is this true? Are you not going up north, and are you taking it out on our trivia contestant?
We are not going up north this weekend.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't feel like I don't go up north most weekends.
It's subconscious,
That's
Jesse.
definitely not true.
It's subconscious.
You go up north a lot. You're always talking about meat raffles and
every time
you are up north.
Every time you say, "Hey, what do you got going on this weekend, Jelly? You going to the meat raffle?" That doesn't mean I'm going up north and going to a meat raffle. You're just throwing that in there, and I think you've convinced yourself. Every Saturday, I'm posted up at the bar trying to win me some pot roast or whatever.
All right, if you guys, we don't. All right, if Chris might have stuff to do.
Yeah, let's get to him.
Chris, question 3.
I'm enjoying this. Keep going.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, good. Let's keep talking about Jesse and what his weekend plans are. What are you doing this weekend?
No.
Whoa, Nelly!
You won't tell us what your plans are?
We don't really have plans this weekend. We got a couple of friends coming overnight for chicken wings. We're going to see Becca's mom.
Are you making the chicken wings, or are you ordering those in?
We are making homemade chicken wings. Homemade chicken wings tonight, yeah.
Okay.
Butchering a chicken, right?
Got a new fence this week, so we're probably going to go sit out in the backyard. Maybe have a fire tonight if weather permits.
Ooh. New fence keeping out the turtles?
No, more room for the turtles to come in.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm not interested in your life anymore. Let's get to question 3.
I don't think you were in the first place.
Question 3, Chris, is this. Which player is the all-time hits leader in Tampa Bay Rays franchise history?
Ooh,
is it
question.
Ben Zobrist, Evan Longoria, or Carl Crawford?
Longoria.
That's what I would guess.
Said with confidence, but incorrect.
No,
Carl
question.
Crawford finished his Tampa Bay Rays career with 9 more hits than Evan Longoria.
Jerk store.
Tough
You know,
question.
latitudinally, why don't you just go to Illinois for the weekend?
Nice.
Yeah, Jesse.
I love
Not
it.
very nice, Chris.
All right. Hey, Chris, you still got one right.
Yeah.
You still have 2 entries. Hey, you have a chance to win the Vortex Golf rangefinder and swag bag. So it's not just the rangefinder, also all kinds of cool swag as well from Vortex Golf. I wish you good luck. Good luck, as Liam Neeson doesn't say in Taken. And we appreciate your loyalty to the show, buddy.
Have a great weekend.
That is Wilde and Tausch Trivia. We will draw our very first inaugural winner of the Vortex Golf rangefinder and swag bag during the 11 o'clock hour, but we got to close up shop on the 10 o'clock hour first, and we need to do so by discussing this projections that the ESPN number crunchers have made for Matthew Golden. Tausch, here's your assignment. And one of the people that are involved in this is our buddy Matt Bowen. So you know that at least on some level, it's on the up and up. Now, of course, Dan Orlovsky's also part of it, so take that for what it's worth. But I want you to give your projection of what your expectations are for Matthew Golden. We will see if they match up with the consensus from the crew at ESPN.com. We'll do that in not 2 minutes. We've got another segment to go. Next on Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Badgers.
When you turn on the tape of Wisconsin Badger,
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
you know you're getting a Boy Dog Warrior.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here, and heading into Mother's Day weekend, you know it's an extra special Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. If you're gearing up for a long-awaited paint project, Hallman Lindsay should be your first stop. They make the search for paint and stain in the Madison area super easy. Plus, you can also get connected with Holm & Lindsey's pro painters to help with your biggest projects. I can't recommend them enough. Just stop into any Holm & Lindsey location, ask, and they'll connect you with the pros that best fit what your project calls for. And Holm & Lindsey is the only paint made to withstand the challenges of Wisconsin's weather year-round. It's why we always say Wisconsin's best painters use Wisconsin's best paint. Check them out at holmandlindsey.com. That's holmandlindsey.com. Holm & Lindsey, great paint, great people. And stay tuned for Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Holm & Lindsey Paints.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhaffel's Memorial Day Mattress Sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable base sets, plus get up to $300 in Steinhaffel's cash only at Steinhaffel's. Hit the ground running. Jeff Grimes' impact going beyond the field. Wisconsin's new offensive coordinator reaching out to Badger alumni with this promise, bringing back Bucky brand football. UW legend Monte Ball with insight on their convo during his appearance on the Jump Around digital show.
I absolutely love about the guy is first impressions are important, so he texted me and mentioned that he's looking forward to bringing back that identity that we have seemed to have lost, dominating these teams and imposing our will.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. National and local awards proving Siding Unlimited will deliver peace of mind. Looking for inspiration to replace your windows, roofing, siding, and doors? Stop by our amazing showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. And definitely check out sidingunlimited.com. We are Siding Unlimited.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Outside Decker. It's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop
stab.
That's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
When you tell me I'm a wreck, you say that I'm a mess. How could you expect anything less? You latched onto me, then cried how strong you were.
All right, old boy. Where are your expectations for Matthew Golden as a rookie? A guy who started 14 games as a rookie himself at right tackle in 2000. I don't know what the numbers were. I don't know if we were quite as analytical about offensive line play back then. But what are you expecting from Matthew Golden before Jesse reads on the radio the thoughts of a handful of experts on ESPN.com about him?
the expectations on my end are by the end of the season, he is the clear-cut number one wideout. I'm looking for a steady drip.
Oh, here we go again.
August, September, all of a sudden a little bit more, and by Thanksgiving, by early December, I want him to be a viable, big-time playmaking wide receiver. And that doesn't mean he's going to, be as consistent as what we're hoping for down the road, but I'm not saying right away he needs to be that guy. But I don't want – and my expectation would be by the time this team makes the postseason, everybody will know he's the number one guy. And there will be no questions next offseason, what do we have a number one? I basically want him to become Jennifer Aniston. I want him to become J.R. Ewing. And we know that by the end of this season. That would be the goal. I don't care about all the numbers and anything else because, again, the little steady drips early, it could be you're not getting much satiation in September. I want to be fully satiated in January. That's what I'm looking for.
I did not have satiation on my verbal bingo card for today's Wilde and Tausch. Well done. All right. This is a really, this is almost
what's
as
yours? What's yours?
I agree with Tausch. It's always a good place to live, from what I can tell from our fans. The T-shirt, unlike them. Look, I think it's going to be a process for him. As much as, and look, this is the story is as long as something written by Bill Barnwell, but there's a lot of people that chime in on things. But this is almost like ESPN's post-draft bold-a-thon. There's a bunch of folks that are giving some bold predictions. I'm not willing to be that bold about Matthew Golden. I think the Packers, I know that there was disappointment last year with them and a lot of dropped passes with them, but I still think they've got some guys that can really play at wide receiver. I'm not giving up on Jaden Reed, even though he disappeared in the second half of last season. I'm not giving up on Dontavion Wicks. And so the prediction that is delivered by Eric Moody, fantasy football writer for ESPN.com, Jesse, is more optimistic than I personally am. I'm not saying he's going to be a disappointment by any means, but I find this to be the kind of thing you say if you're part of a bold-a-thon.
Eric Moody writes, Green Bay wideout Matthew Golden will lead all rookies in receiving yards. I think, Eric Moody, Golden will outshine Travis Hunter, Teteroa McMillan in the 2025 season. It's rare for the Packers to take a wide receiver in the first round, and Golden finds himself in an ideal situation with rising quarterback Jordan Love and offensive-minded coach Matt LaFleur. Could Golden be the 2025 version of Brian Thomas Jr.? Eric Moody, ESPN fantasy football writer.
Lead all wide receivers. All rookie wide receivers in receiving yards. Are you on board with that?
By the way,
am not.
Mike Tannenbaum chimes in later and says, I agree with
$60
Eric.
million a year he wants. Oh, that's different.
Golden will lead all rookie wide receivers in receiving yards. I expect Golden to quickly become the frontline number one that LaFleur and Green Bay have wanted for years.
Tausch, are you joining their club? I am not. He may eventually be their number one, but I am not picking him to have more receiving yards than anybody else among the rookies. Sorry, not doing it.
Yeah, I think Travis Hunter probably, depending on what, if they're going to let him try and go both ways, which I don't think they'll do. I think they'll sprinkle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Teteroa. I don't know. I know this. You have a wide open receiving core. You have a group that nobody has emerged. There's going to be opportunity on top of opportunity. and you have a quarterback that can wing it and can make plays and is looking to take some shots and take some opportunities to make big plays. So whether or not he's going to develop quickly enough to have a 17-game season and have the stats that go with that, I can't say that either. But I'll be disappointed if they're not and I know Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No frosh play till Thanksgiving Day.
Except that wideout. And it's
Indeed.
not immediate. But if we're not into the month of December and saying, oh, this cat's the real deal, I think you're going to look at this first-round pick and look at Mark Murphy and all of this great stuff that we've been talking about and saying, not the start we were looking for. Because he's going to get the opportunities. Is he going to be ready to seize them? That's the question that we have to find out.
Well, speaking of seizing opportunities, you seized the opportunity to become a UW Credit Union member, all because of that cute rascal, Buckingham U. Badger.
Oh, Bucky. And you know what? For every stage of life, UW Credit Union, they're here for every you. Jason, long time ago did it. I, more recently, and UW Credit Union has proudly served Wisconsin for over 90 years, and they're going to help you reach your financial goals. And people ask me, oh, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Yep. Is it member first service? Yep. Is it great perks like early payday? Yes, indeed. But honestly, it's Bucky. You can't say no to that pretty little face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom will make you do crazy things. But, man, this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Get that Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Listen live and on demand to all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows at the touch of a fingertip. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple and Android app stores today. The Milwaukee Brewers interleague stretch continues, this time on the road. Brew back down in Florida, visiting the Tampa Bay Rays this weekend. First of 3-game series is tonight, 6:05 first pitch. Pre-game coverage starts at 5:30 right here on Madison's new home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Jose Quintana gets the start on the mound for Milwaukee. Brewers Rays, 6:05 first pitch tonight. Road trip continues in Cleveland Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, following the 3-game series in Tampa over the weekend. Football. The Green Bay Packers. Expectations high for wide receiver Matthew Golden, selected by the Packers in the first round. First round wide receiver picked by the Packers since Javon Walker in 2002. What does ESPN's NFL experts say about Matthew Golden? Check it out at ESPNWisconsin.com.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or MetroKiaofMadison.com.
11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, which will include a round of Where's Wilde, and of course, Whoa Nelly, and Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. Now, Tausch, on the rundown, which I know you read religiously, we're intending to have a conversation here about Barron Sorrell and Warren Brinson, two of the defensive linemen that were selected during the draft. But I feel like the way the show has unfolded, other than the amazing sprinkler analogy, I haven't given you ample opportunity of Tausch being Tausch. So is there anything, before we get into Sorrell and Brinson, because that feels like kind of a meat and potatoes-y topic, do you have anything that's on your mind? Have I squelched your creativity beyond the conversation about the hats to begin the show? I just feel like I've been kind of imposing my will on the program, and I don't like to do that because you're very creative.
I mean, I don't know what else you're looking for from me. I threw a great analogy out.
It was great.
You know, so no, there's nothing that's like really at me that
just wanted to make sure.
I mean, I was gone for a majority of the week, obviously out in Las Vegas for the Badger Desert Classic. So I don't know necessarily if I've been caught up on the Giannis Antetokounmpo, the fact that Strophe and the KBN, the groupthink boys, have gotten after Homer. I don't even know what that was about. I think Super Bowl contention. But outside of that, no, I am as pleased as punch.
Okay. All right, good. I'm glad to hear that. And do you feel rested and recovered from your travels? No. Oh, okay.
No, not even a little bit.
Well, you see, you've been in quite the chipper mood, so we're very happy to have you.
Positive vibes only. Really since the red eye and all that, it's been positive vibes only for the last 3 days, and I think we've accomplished that.
Well, it has been positive vibes too with these two guys. I've really I enjoyed this. I will post a photo that the Green Bay Press-Gazette photographer got of me laughing at something that Warren Brinson said. That's why it's a flattering photo. I don't think I take great photos, so I look like I thought it was a pretty good picture. I'll post it along with the links to our program here momentarily. But Tausch, I am curious about these guys because one of the things that I've heard from fans is that they didn't do enough to improve the defense. The Packers drafted 8 players, 2 wide receivers, 2 offensive linemen. Okay, that's 4 on offense. And then on defense, edge rusher, defensive tackle, and corner. All of those picks, though, on defense were on day 3. Now, I also heard Goody multiple times refer to 4th-round picks as, and I quote here, premium picks. Now, I don't generally define them that way, but then when you go back and look on the history of 4th-round picks in Green Bay, Wisconsin, there's been a lot of premium players that were picked in the 4th round, right? Sitton, Lang, Bakhtiari, Mike Daniels. A lot of really good players. Nile Diggs. Was he in your class?
Yeah. He was, yes.
So a lot of really good football players. So maybe he's right. But what are your expectations? And I know, again, Barry Sorrell, who is back in the YouTube comments.
Is there an N on Sorrell's name, or is it Barry?
It is Barry for Dad. Barry Sorrell Sr., who is in our YouTube comments. And then Barron, his son, is B-A-R-R-Y-N. Now, I don't know. I have to check the tape. No, this can't.
What are we talking about here? So, Barron Sorrell, the guy we just drafted,
4th-round pick out of Texas, defensive end.
Goodell came out of his perch to introduce him.
Yes.
His dad is in our YouTube section?
Yes. In fact,
that's awesome.
Just now, giving his opinion on Matthew Golden, who played with his son at Texas.
It's fantastic. Okay, I didn't know all of that. That's something that I missed. So we appreciate it, Barry, that you're in the YouTube, and chime in as much as you'd love to. I wonder, how much can we expect or hope? Because if we're being honest, I would hope that him, Colin Oliver, your guy Brinson, who's obviously going to be on the inside, the pass rush was a sore spot, especially in the big boy games last year.
Mm-hmm.
If one of these guys emerges, which would be great, that also would make you think that these other guys aren't. And what I mean by that is you're right now looking at a group that someone needs to emerge as a big boy rusher, as I put them, target guys. Wednesday meeting, we're not letting this guy beat us. Beep, beep. One of these guys, that's what we need. That's what we don't have. Whether that's Rashan Gary or Van Ness or Enigbare or whomever. I would hope Devontae Wyatt can somehow get into that mix. That would be fantastic. But the opportunity, I wonder how much opportunity will the Olivers and the Sorrells get? Because this isn't a veteran group that isn't going to take a bunch of reps and do all that. You're going to, I would think the competition for repetition is going to be fever high in nickel situations. And if these guys, they're going to need to show that they're going to earn those reps because you're still looking at a very deep group. Brenton Cox. There's a lot of guys that have not elevated to the point of, yep, he's our guy. Do we have a, yep, he's our guy beside Rashan Gary that you're going to know is going to get a ton of reps?
And Rashan Gary, again, a couple things here. First of all, it is very clear that Jeff Hafley believes in rotating on the defensive line more so than other coaches. Like their rotation numbers, if you look at Rashan Gary's snap counts, they are far lower than other elite or quasi-elite pass rushers.
Let me tell you something. If he was playing elite, that would not be the case.
Okay, well,
Jeff
again, but you said, he's the guy that is going to get a lot of reps. He doesn't get Max Crosby reps. He doesn't he doesn't. And whether you're right, if he played at that level that we all expected him to, maybe that would be different. But what I'm saying is that Jeff Hafley's not afraid to rotate guys. He plays Kingsley Enigbare, he plays Lucas Van Ness, he plays Brenton Cox. So whether it's Barron Sorrell or Colin Oliver or both who are coming in as rookies, the opportunity will be there. He will play the guys that earn reps. It will not be, you're a rookie, we got to play Brenton Cox ahead of you.
Listen, I totally agree. I guess the point that I was trying to make, and not very well, was these guys, you almost hope they don't get the opportunities.
Well, other than Barry.
Why I say that is because I want to see Lucas Van Ness pop. If Lucas Van Ness pops, Oliver and Sorrell are not going to be getting the amount of opportunities. Yeah, preseason they will.
Well,
but when we get to be the big.
So one of the things that I think is going to be interesting is I have a sneaking suspicion that because of what they have in terms of outside options, I think you're going to see Lucas Van Ness rush from inside. I think that's one of the things that he did it at Iowa. I think there's a chance that he's going to do some of that. Maybe it's him and Devontae Wyatt next to each other.
Will Edgerrin Cooper be featured as an edge rusher more in nickel situations?
I mean, maybe a little. I don't know that. I don't have Jeff Hafley's game plan, but I would argue that he would be perfect for if you have a front four that's generating pressure more frequently than what it did last year, then to come in with him blitzing when you're not expecting him to blitz, and he's got, as Dom Capers used to say, he comes flat free. kind of like that idea too. And remember, they still have Quay Walker who could, like, there's a chance. This is one of the reasons why I thought it was unfair of Homer to say that folks that were in the 30% saying the Packers will win the Super Bowl, yes, they're overly optimistic, but I don't think they're idiots. And that's why we got after Homer, because that's one area that if this pass rush with the investments they've made plays at the level to match the investments that have been made, it can be pretty damn good, right? First-round picks, etc. Now adding Sorrell and adding Oliver. My point is that I'm very curious to see how Jeff Hafley deploys these guys. He's going to have more options than he did before. Those are all good things. Now, I don't
want to be sitting here next year at this time and saying, "Oh man, we had 8 guys playing 32% of the reps." I want somebody taking 65% of the reps. Do you want Julius Peppers out of football games? Do I want Troy Polamalu out of football games? Do I want Michael Strahan out of football games? Do I want Max Crosby out of football games? No. I don't. I'm not interested in, we're going to do line shifts. Hey, this isn't youth hockey. This is big boy professional football. I want to see Rashan Gary say, no, I'm going to play the run well. I'm going to be in a position where I can play 65 or 70% of the snaps. I don't want to look out there and it's 3rd and 8 at the Metrodome. We need to get a stop, and our best pass rusher right on the field.
Okay, so
I don't want that anymore.
In 2016, now I think that year Clay Matthews dealt with some injury issues. But in 2016, Clay Matthews played 46% of the defensive snaps, and Julius Peppers played 56% of the snaps.
37 years old.
I understand, but he was. Those were almost exclusively pass rush snaps.
Let me tell you. Okay, let me just put it to you this way.
Okay.
When I'm playing football and there is a stud, Max Crosby, and Max Crosby goes off the field, I'm saying, thank you.
Right, but who
if Julius
on the Packers
Peppers
right now deserves you to feel that way as an offensive lineman?
You're not getting my point. You're not getting my point. I want to feel that. Why I'm saying all of this, and I hope these opportunities are limited, is because I want that. I want Minnesota to say, 52's on the field. Oh, boy. That's what I want.
Yeah, nobody says that right now. They do not say that the same way.
I'm just pointing out, it's all cute and fine that you're putting out things in line shifts and we're doing this. You need to have a guy. Za'Darius was the guy a while ago. I mean, you remember the Minnesota game, moving him all over the place. He's wreaking havoc. I want a havoc wreaker. And I don't want the havoc. You don't put a havoc wreaker on the bench. You don't have him not in the game on 3rd and 6.
You don't put Baby in a corner.
Havoc wreakers need to be 60+. I'm not interested in this cutesy-ootsy. Everybody gets 48% of the playing time, and then fire them an orange wedge.
All right,
get your butt out there and play.
So it's not youth football. I get it. So tell me then, because
our left tackle, David Bakhtiari. Oh, you know what?
No.
He's tired. Let's rest him.
All right. Here, my question then.
Pro hockey does line changes too.
Because you.
What's so funny about that?
It was just it was a fun drop. Why are you what turned here? Here's the thing. You, of all people.
What do you mean, what turned? What does that even mean?
You became tough guy this
segment.
Yes,
you did. Totally. Thank you, Jesse.
I'm not being tough Reeker out
because
there playing football, not eating orange wedges and melons like Jason in his car yesterday.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I think Packer fans are kind of fed up with the pass rush. They want to see somebody emerge.
Right.
That's what they want.
All right. So, again, if I may ask this question of you, you were using the term to describe Rashan Gary. You used the term elite years ago.
ACL, yes.
And you and I go round and round, and you throw a haymaker, and I.
Oh, boy.
Boy.
Turn on the San Francisco playoff game where we stunk on offense in our special teams. I know, it was 5 years ago. Great. That's when I said elite.
Comes at you fast.
Hey, that's when I said elite. I can't predict guys blowing their knee out. I can't predict that. Watch that game, Jason.
How long do we?
Wait, hold up. That's when I said elite. I haven't said elite post knee injury. I haven't.
So were you wrong about him being elite? That he has not come back from
Go
that ACL?
watch that blanket game, Jason. They couldn't block him. They had McGlinchey, got paid a bunch of money, could not block him. He bull rushed him back into whatever the quarterback was. It Garoppolo. They could not block Rashan Gary, and they had to start shifting guys. He was that guy. Now he's not. Fair. I can't tell you he's going to blow a knee. I couldn't. I can't predict that.
Right, but lots of guys blow their knees out. He has not come back now multiple years removed from that injury and played at an elite level. Baron Sorrell is a huge Rashan Gary fan. Patterns his game after him, one of his favorite players. So if Rashan Gary can achieve, which was my point, what you predicted for him before he blew out his ACL, and then you are sprinkling in the Kingsley Enigbares and Baron Sorrells and LVNs and all those guys and your havoc wreaker, Rashan Gary, is playing 60% of the snaps, then you potentially have something there. But at this point, I don't think Rashan Gary has done enough post-ACL to say he has to be on the field more than Kingsley Enagbare. He hasn't had the production. Now, maybe this year he gets back to it.
This is a chicken and egg conversation. I can't disagree with what you're saying, but I'm paying a guy, what is he making, $25 million a year, and I know that shouldn't factor in, but this is the year. He needs to be that guy. And when you're that guy, you're in games 65, 70% of the time. He's a young guy. This isn't a guy on the end of his career where you're forcing Julius Peppers to not practice and you're not asking him to hold up against, physical run teams. This is elevator time for Rashan Gary. He is in his elevator days. You have to see. You don't tell when you have a 100-story building, you know what? You can only use the elevator 42% of the time. The other time, you got to hoof it up, Podna. You want to go do that? Great. I want an elevator to be running at a high level, and that's where we're at with Rashan Gary.
Not nearly as good as the sprinkler thing. Not even in the same vicinity.
I love Jesse saying, "Hey, tough guy," because I don't want my professional football players coming out on 3rd and 7 when you need to get a stop against the Vikings for an orange slice. That's me being a tough guy?
No, I like it. It's not like you to usually say things like a tough guy. Like it's a tough guy take.
What is that supposed to mean?
There's I think a lot of times, just because you're a tough guy doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. Like we want tough guys, especially as pass rushers. So I agree with you. Keep them out there. Make a play.
Bottom line, it's a huge year for Rashan Gary. We all know that. I do think production-wise, we all need to see a little bit more. He has to be that guy. He does.
Okay. Well, the bottom line is that he has not been that guy over the past 2 seasons. Whether or not he is that guy this season will dictate whether he's their guy a year from now, because he's got a really big cap number coming up, and he needs to be better. You don't get to have the elite.
Question for you: if the Packers, if his guaranteed money was out, and they had to make a decision on what he will make next year today, are they restructuring? Are they paying him what he's doing, or is he gone?
I would say that this is a critical year for him to help them decide that. I'm not giving that answer because it's not. It's because that's what this year is all about.
I know, but if next year was this year, what would you do as a Packer organization?
Well, I don't know. I hear that he tore his ACL a few years ago, and that he's got to be given the opportunity to bounce back from that.
What does Jason Wilde say? That's 3 years ago.
Jason Wilde is saying that you have not played to the level of your contract, and we owe you a ton of money.
So would you do this?
How you feel about a restructure where you can earn back through incentives all of the money that we would be asking you to reduce in your contract? If you get 10 sacks, you get every penny back. How's that?
Would there be more chatter and more interest from NFL teams if he was, because what you're saying is without the captaincy and without the off the field issues, you're basically equating this with Jaire. Is the money worth this? And it's different.
Hey, Jaire was a second team All-Pro the year he got his contract. He got paid in like October. Second team All-Pro versus being voted the Pro Bowl are not the same.
Okay, well, media, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Would you expect the league to have more interest in a Rashan Gary than they have in a Jaire Alexander as we sit here?
Yeah, I don't know. Clearly there's not a lot of interest in Jaire Alexander, or the Packers would have traded him already. Certainly there's not a lot of teams that are willing to pick up $17 million for him. Now, if they put Rashan Gary on the block and ask for a first-round pick, would they get one?
No.
No. So what are they getting if they were to trade Rashan Gary? A third?
Third round. Yep.
Is a guy elite if you can only get a third-round pick for him if you traded him?
I don't know. Plenty of guys getting third-round picks. Pickens. T. Boone Pickens. He's elite. Making money.
Carl Pickens.
Oil fields, stuff like that.
I'll tell you who is a first-round pick, and that is Gina Della of Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
She is. There is no better time than now to upgrade your windows and doors, because Pella is offering up to 6 years. I think that's how long Rashan Gary's been playing for the G&G. 0% financing. Set your free in-home consultation. You don't commit to anything at this point. Just like Green Bay won't have to commit to anything with Rashan after this season. They'll listen to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations to make it a reality. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions to apply. The deal ends May 31st of 2025. So visit PellaWI.com today.
A game of Where's Wilde is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Free Food Friday on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Vintage Brewing Company. Whether you're looking to get carry-out, delivery, or dine-in, Vintage Brewing has lots of great options on their menu. Vintage Brewing Company prides themselves on being a great place to hang out and enjoy classic Midwestern hospitality. Vintage Brewing Company has multiple award-winning beers, so be sure to try one the next time you're in. Head to VintageBrewingCompany.com to make a reservation today. That's VintageBrewingCompany.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Hold on, I don't wanna know what it's like when you're gone. I don't wanna move on. I don't wanna know what it's like when you're gone for good. You're slipping through my fingertips a little bit by a little bit. I didn't know the love of you was the happiest I've ever been. So I'm just trying to hold on. Hold on, I don't wanna know what it's like when you're gone.
Jesse works very, very, very hard. I know he cut up audio last night after I sent it to him. We didn't get to much of it. He also spends time listening to my appearances on other shows so he can put together a Where's Wilde?
Since he often saves his best material for other shows,
If there's something difficult we need to talk about, let's have the conversation.
we're bringing the other shows to us.
I would be very leery if I was a Packers fan.
Or are we?
House takes a lot of days, man.
It's time to play Where's Wilde?
Always feels like that comes up right after Tausch comes back after taking a lot of days, man.
It's interesting that way, yes.
Anywho, Where's Wilde, where we try to find where Jason shared his best material of the week on the ESPN Wisconsin airwaves. So as a reminder, this includes ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison, and ESPN Beaver Dam. It does not include 620 WTMJ, ESPN Chicago, or any other non-ESPN Wisconsin station.
Good to know.
Here is Where's Wilde clip number 1.
I don't think that it's in any way, shape, or form outlandish to try and to say that they will win the Super Bowl. I don't think what they have on paper is good enough to be the favorite in the NFC to win the Super Bowl. But I think what they have is good enough for, if you are an optimistic thinking Packers fan, to have voted yes.
Where's Wilde?
Some clues there for you, Tausch. Any ideas?
Homer Hour. Homer Hour.
Weekdays 5 to 6 on ESPN Milwaukee, and ESPN Beaver Dam. Jason?
So I don't want to say the same answer as Tausch, and there is the outside possibility because we were discussing Homer's poll and criticism of voters who said they would win the Super Bowl as being, quote, idiots. We did discuss that on KBN as well. So I, in the interest of having a different answer, will say KBN.
Weekdays starting at 2 on ESPN Wisconsin. One of you is right. Tausch is on the board.
Let's go.
Well rested.
Let's go.
The Homer Hour, where Jason shared that take. So you think they're good enough to be in contention, which we also talked about when I placed my bet at Hard Rock Casino Rockford yesterday.
Rocket or socket.
I just don't understand. I get it, man. We cover the team extensively, and we are, talk about it daily. So we're going to look at some of the positives and maybe not look at some of the flaws that maybe nationally people will look at. But to sit here and think that this team that's made the playoffs, yes, is a 7th seed, and that is young and growing and hopefully will be better than they were last year, more consistent anyways, you're going to have at least a 1-7 shot. Puncher's chance. If you can find a way to win a division, get the 1 seed, nobody's going to anticipate that because we're sitting here on May 9th. Philadelphia is better. Detroit is better. There's nobody else that I could sit here and say is markedly better than the Green Bay Packers in the NFC. There's just not. And with a defense that got a lot better, if this defense plays to the level that they did in the second half of the season and creates the turnovers that they did last year, all the offense has to do is be a little bit more consistent. And don't forget, 16-10 in the fourth quarter. 4 turnovers to 0 on the road against the team that just curb stomped everybody else on their way to a world championship. Don't forget that.
Next.
Where's Wilde?
Rams had him on the ropes at home in the divisional round, just saying.
So they were not colorfully curb stomped.
They curb stomped the other teams, but the Rams very much had them and messed it up because they were playing in the snow. Anyway, here is Where's Wilde clip number 2.
Yeah, I think it's still corner, right? Because we don't know what the Jaire Alexander resolution will ultimately be. I'm still, as I talked with Homer yesterday when he was in for Tausch on our show, I'm still skeptical. If I was advising Jaire, which since I didn't pass the muster of being trusted with his phone number as he went through the process of figuring out if I was trustworthy. But if he randomly called, I'd say, look, you're not going to make $17 million this year, whether it's from the Packers or somebody else. But I'm a big believer in fresh starts. Maybe it's just time for everyone to start fresh, right?
Where's Wilde?
Okay, a couple more clues, including repeating what he said with our show today. Tausch, where'd that happen?
Just wait. Jason, you are not a believer in fresh starts.
Sure
in
I
your
am.
own life? No, you're not. You would have never left the State Journal. You don't want any fresh starts. You like old, stale starts. You don't. What are you talking about? You love fresh starts. There's nothing fresh about your starts.
I'm in the midst
I
of
crazy?
a fresh start. No one said that it had to be. It had
You
to
didn't
be my
love it.
choice.
Amicable.
Yeah, it would be amicable.
You
if
hold
they
a
cut it
grudge,
either.
and you still want people to read newspapers like it was the 60s. What are you talking about? You want fresh starts.
I do. Well, you can read all of my work at channel3000.com with no paywall whatsoever, so be sure to read it there.
But you don't like fresh starts, though. You admit that.
I believe that players can benefit from fresh starts. Yes. That was the context with which I was talking about it.
But you said, I believe in fresh starts.
Right. I believe in fresh starts for players that have had things go sideways with their existing team. Is that hard to understand?
Yeah.
Apparently.
It is.
Would you like a fresh start guessing where he said this, Tausch?
Wally and the boys up in Beaver Dam.
The Dam Sports Show. Weekdays at 4 o'clock on ESPN Beaver Dam. Jason?
I'm intrigued by the audio quality here. I'm torn
I believe
between
in fresh starts, so you probably gave it a new microphone.
I'm torn between Sunday Karma and Jim, Matt, and Molly. I'm going to go Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Weekdays at 4 on ESPN Madison. Everybody's wrong. Guess what? That was the Homer Hour again.
Oh, you rascal.
Sounded totally different
good.
one day to another there on the Homer Hour.
It did.
Weekdays at 5. What happened?
Very strange. Was that doctored?
No doctoring.
Okay.
No doctoring. Well, bizarre. All right, let's see what we do here with clip number 3.
Where's Wilde?
They did not make the jump last year in year 2 that we all thought they would or that Packers fans hoped they would. They did not. Undeniable. But I think that's still a distinct possibility. I want to see Jordan Love when he's fully healthy because, well, I think that is a crutch that was used too much by people that want to justify his performance or are Jordan Love apologists. I also would say that it is undeniable that it affected him at some level for much of the season.
Where's Wilde?
Here he is. He's attacking the fans. He's coming up with strong points. He does this when he joins other shows.
That I do.
Where'd he do it, Tausch?
Homer Hour.
I see why you're saying that.
Well played. KBN.
It was the Homer Hour.
That's amazing.
All 3 clips from the Homer Hour this week in your appearances with
Were
Steve
you,
the Homer True.
All right, now tell the truth. Were you lazy and you just took clips from one show so you didn't have to bounce around?
No, they were different shows throughout the course of the week. 2 of them were from the same appearance.
No. Same show, same feed for one program, as opposed to dinging along, going to, I'm going to check out what he said on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and Jim, Matt, and Molly. Did you just say, I'm going to stay in the Homer Hour feed?
Well,
do that.
No.
Are you sure?
I always start somewhere, and when I find that there's several compelling things said, I want to showcase.
So what you're saying is you never listen to the other
I don't know
hits.
if you said things equally compelling on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy because I never got to that point because what you said on the Homer Hour was so compelling.
Not lazy at all. Nope, not lazy at all. All right, that is Where's Wilde. As much as we all believe in fresh starts. Did I say anything there that you took issue with, Tausch, other than the fresh start thing?
No. I mean, you're basically, I know what you're saying. You just say it with more decisiveness for whatever reason on other shows. Even though when I ask you pointed questions, you filibuster and refuse to on our show, which does irritate me.
Maybe they just ask better questions than you do. There's no question that a great time to swing by Steinhafels is for Steinhafels Mother's Day sale. Save 10% off store-wide, 10% off living room, 10% off dining, 10% off bedroom, plus take an extra $100 off every $999 you spend. And take advantage of Steinhafels' 18-month 0% interest financing to make your purchase even more affordable. Steinhafels is Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader. The Mother's Day sale ends, oddly enough, on Mother's Day on Sunday. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ride the revolution. Cycle Nation is coming back to Madison. Join the American Stroke Association and the American Heart Association at the Sylvie on Wednesday, May 21st as we pedal for a purpose. Teams can join the movement as we raise funds and heartbeats to end strokes and save lives. It's all happening on Wednesday, May 21st at the Sylvie. Jim, Matt, and Molly will be there, and we hope you'll sign up too. Visit cyclenation.org/Madison and register today. Locally sponsored by Carbon World Health and ESPN Madison.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025. It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Look, we all know that as we age, our bodies change, but Carbon World Health can help. They have a process of testosterone replacement therapy that includes a diagnostic exam and blood tests to assess your hormone levels to make sure that they are optimal for you, not optimal for your age. Carbon World Health can help you increase your energy, focus, and overall health with their approach to hormone therapy. It's all about quality of life for you. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
We're on the Badgers.
There are moments where it feels like you're close, but taken holistically, those look like blips.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
To win a championship, you have to consistently be that team.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Switch on the sky and the stars glow for you. Go see the world cause it's all so brand new. Don't close your eyes cause your future's ready to shine. It's just a matter of time before we learn how to fly. Welcome to the rhythm of the night. There's something in the air you can't deny.
I think we've had a nice quality show. The sprinkler sound effects by Michael Winslow Tauscher of Police Academy fame. Some good debates. Tausch being tough guy at one point during our conversation.
I just got my quote of the week, and it is very
from Jaire Alexander.
For Jaire Alexander and his situation, and this comes from Joubert Botha. Joubert Botha, who I had not heard as a philosopher.
I've heard it both ways.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Now, that was funny. And I quote, sometimes the people around you won't understand your journey. They don't need to. It's not for them. I think that could fit Jaire Alexander's situation about as well as anybody. Again, Jobert Botha.
Kind of fits all three of us on this show, too, doesn't it?
It's been a long journey from Milan to Minsk. Rochelle. Botha. Jesse, before we have Whoa Nelly, this is the moment.
We're already out of time for, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think we are too. But this is the moment we've been waiting all week for. With our new partnership with Vortex Golf, the inaugural Wilde and Tausch trivia giveaway of a Vortex Golf rangefinder and swag bag. You are going to pick our winner, and they will be the first to win this awesome prize pack. Not that the ESPN Wisconsin prize pack wasn't awesome. This is just awesomer.
Cheese Fry helmet has a lot of chips in it. If your name is Steve, you have a great chance because we had two guys named Steve play this week. Drawing, selecting. Congratulations
to Steve.
Steve won. Steve in DeForest. Wednesday's Wisconsin geography contestant, Steve in DeForest, got every question right and wins himself a prize pack from Vortex Golf, including a swag bag and a brand new rangefinder. Attaboy, Steve.
Congratulations, Steve-O. What a great victory for you. Enjoy your rangefinder, and when you go to pick it up, ask if they have any binos for Tausch. We wrap up the week with Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, a place I've loved going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I loved Pizza Hut back then, and I love creating new Pizza Hut memories with my family now. And right now, Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For just $13.99, you can get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips. Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. That's a lot of ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. Hit the ground running. Jeff Grimes' impact going beyond the field. Wisconsin's new offensive coordinator reaching out to Badger alumni with this promise, bringing back Bucky brand football. UW legend Monte Ball with insight on their convo during his appearance on the Jump Around digital show.
I absolutely love about the guy is first impressions are important, so he texted me and mentioned that he's looking forward to bringing back that identity that we have seemed to have lost, dominating these teams and imposing our will. Literally what he was texting us. So I'm excited to see how he's going to implement that.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 20th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Baltimore Orioles.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 20th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You gotta get down on Friday. It's time to finish the week off right. It's Feel Good Friday on Wilde and Tausch, painted by Hallman Lindsay.
I remember the nights when we were young, dumb, and wild and free. When I close my eyes, I can see you in my sweatshirt, dancing around that college bar. These days I don't know where you are, but I get to keep these memories forever.
It is time for Feel Good Friday, painted by Hallman Lindsay Paints. Tausch, as the inventor, you go first.
All right. Well, I just saw I get quotes from the NFLPA on a weekly basis, and I also get updates on the good things that former and current players do in the community. And I get one every week, and sometimes we use that for Feel Good Friday. But today it was our quarterback, Jordan Love. He donated 1,300 sets of cleats to youth athletes across Wisconsin, 26 different teams, one for every touchdown that he threw last season. I thought that was really cool, and it's one of the again, some of the cool stuff that players do. It's nice that that gets highlighted. And I think Jordan Love, for as good of a quarterback as he is, and we're hoping gets more consistent along the way, by all accounts, he's a pretty good dude, and this is another example of that.
Jesse?
It is graduation weekend around the state of Wisconsin for college seniors. I wanted to shout out a few in particular. We have great interns at all of our different stations around Wisconsin, but especially our part-time teammates who are graduating. 3 that have made a big impact for the ESPN Wisconsin airwaves, especially over the last year. Number 1 is Julia Saganiak. She'll be graduating. She does a lot of digital content creation for us here at ESPN Madison. Does a fantastic job. If you've seen us on social media, you've seen something that Julia's created. Chrissy Birdsall has produced this show and has been involved in a lot of our shows on the air over the last year. She's going to have a great future as an on-air personality at some point, no doubt. And then also Will Summers in ESPN Milwaukee. He's actually running the show right now. He graduates this weekend. He's done a fantastic job. Also has become a big part of Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe. All 3 of them have been outstanding over the last year especially. We appreciate everything they do, and good luck with graduation. It's awesome.
Yes, all 3 of those folks are extremely talented, and they are the lifeblood of GKB, having young talent coming up through our system, and they all merit that praise. I'm going to just quickly give another shout-out to our friend Oz, Marco Siki. A week from tomorrow is his annual Casting for Kids event. I know there's some great jerseys that you can bid on in the auction. There's still time to get a boat out there if you haven't done it. Casting4kids.org. That is casting4kids, the number 4, kids.org is the website. It supports UW Health, the AmFam Children's Hospital, and UW's Carbone Cancer Center, which I saw there's another UW Carbone Cancer Center on the other side of the Illinois border. As I was coming into Illinois, there's another location in Illinois on your way to Rockford, which I didn't realize, which is fantastic. Right? Yeah, noticed that on my drive. It was shortly after I was given the finger by some passenger who was in a lane next to me, who then later commented on the way I eat my cantaloupe while I'm driving. I don't know who that could be.
Mowing it down. It was said multiple times.
While my tires were spinning in the opposite direction, and yet I was going forward toward the Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Very strange. All right, that's it for us today. We will be back next week. Over under on number of shows Tausch will do. If I set it at 3.5, is it more or fewer on the prize picks?
5. Give me all 5 for Old T next week. I feel good about it.
4 for sure. 4 for sure.
That's it for us today. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial free.